Here's your prospect of the day. We're going to look at Ozzy Wiesblatt. It's a great name. He's a right winger, although in write-ups I was seeing a lot of talk about him playing center as well, but everything seems to indicate he's a right winger at this stage in his career. He's 5'10", 183 pounds. So, again, this is another one of those players that 15, 20 years ago, scouts would have said, too small, forget it, nope. Anything under 6'4" can't play, unless he's a goaltender. Now it's the other way around. Goalie's got to be 6'4". Players, hey, he can be 5'4", 5'3", 5'2", 4'10". How does he look on skates? So, Ozzy, we'll see how this guy works out. Because, again, we're into guys who are likely in the second round. I'm wearing Buffalo because, honestly, if Buffalo can find a way to get this guy, this might be one of those ones that, again, there are going to be flaws in the game of these players that get taken later in the draft, and it is all about being able to fix those flaws and get yourself a steal later on. So he's ranked number 40th on Hockey Prospect. He's number 19 on Central Scouting amongst North American skaters. Number 32 on Elite Prospects, and number 40 on Bob McKenzie's list. So 40, I'm going, yeah, about the 9th pick of the second round. Sure, Buffalo. So his strengths, puck handling, passing, and teamwork. But his shot's pretty solid as well. This is a dynamic forward, potentially, at the National Hockey League level. He produced well in the Western Hockey League. So he played for Prince Albert last year and this year. Last year, 64 games played. 15 goals, 24 assists, 39 points. This year, also 64 games played. 25 goals, 45 assists for 70 points. Now, what's impressive with those points is he was playing about 18 minutes a game. So he was playing second-line minutes. So this is one of those guys where the points may not jump out at you, but he wasn't playing as much as some of the other guys in his draft class, and he was playing pretty well. Hardworking, aggressive player. So he's one of those guys that you always notice when he's out on the ice because he is a very hard worker, and he's aggressive on the puck. Aggressive away from the puck as well. Solid hands and very good deking ability. So everything is there to look at and say this guy could be a top 6 forward. He's a good shooter and a good playmaker. And that's something that really stands out with this draft class. There are plenty of guys who have a good shot and they're really good at the passing game as well. And it does lend itself to this idea that this year's draft class is really solid, very deep, and has a lot of really, really good players in it. Potentially, anyway. Now, where the reasons why he would drop into the second round show up, his aggression sometimes leads to impatience. So it's a matter of take a moment, take a breath, look around on the ice, and say, all right, where am I going to pass the puck to? No, he will go right through the... He's that guy that you're like, why don't you pass? Oh, okay, all right. So he'll get that aggression going, and that impatience is going to cost him at points. But again, you can coach around that and coach him better than that. Now, what's interesting, too, is they don't say that his skating is a problem. The skating in general is not a problem, but his skating stride itself could use some improvement. So skating is good, but you can see that there's room there for some improvement on his part. And again, if he improves that skating and if he learns to think the game just a little bit better, he just gets that mental side down, Ozzy may find himself as a guy who maybe ends up going early in the second round that we look back on and say, hey, he was sort of like a DeBrincat in that round, wasn't he? Because again, with DeBrincat dropped into the second round. And at the time he was drafted, he was a smaller player. And, well, we don't know if his skill is going to necessarily translate to the NHL level. And here we are. So maybe that's the kind of player we're seeing here with Ozzy. We'll see. I mean, I thought about wearing Detroit because Ozzy, right? So there's that. But the one scouting report, and there weren't a ton on this kid. So one of the things, too, that I was thinking is there's only a couple of different scouting reports I was able to find. Maybe he wasn't scouted as much. So he might be one of those guys that maybe not a lot of scouts noticed or not a lot of scouts were watching for. Again, that's one of those situations where a guy can be a steal later on. One of the most underrated player in this draft, in my opinion. So nothing negative that I saw about him. And just basically that he has all the tools to be a good NHL player. It's a matter of working on the mental side of the game, which again, I've seen players come into the league and just they're not ready. And you're like, oh, what are you doing there? The guys make you yell at the TV. Some of them grow out of it, some of them don't. So if this guy's one of those ones that grows out of it, and if the skating stride gets a little bit of work, and he gets that next gear as a skater, and we might be looking at a top 6 forward at the National Hockey League level. So let me know your thoughts. If you're a Prince Albert fan, let me know where you think Ozzy ends up. Is he going to be a National Hockey League player? Is he not? And does he end up being top 6 or bottom 6? Because again, with the aggression and the energy level and all that, I could see bottom 6 working for him as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.